in that moment, I realized that we had literally closed a door that was open onto us. Let's talk about becoming, because this is one of those topics that has truly changed my life these past couple years. And I have made mistakes. I've had so many realizations, and I'm here to share. It is not about who you know, it is about who you are. Now, who you know may be important, but if you are not the person that can sustain the type of success level you want to be at or you want to attain, you are not going to succeed in that role. No matter who you know, no matter what opportunities have been given to you, no matter what situation, whatever, if you are not the person that can sustain that success level, you will fail. I know that hit hard. It hit hard for me. It's one of those things where like I've learned just by experience. Like I get to places or I meet people, I'm like, wow, this is so cool to be in this room. But because I haven't done the work on my habits and realizing that I need to become a certain person in order to keep being in these type of rooms, I have found myself just disqualifying myself. Let's just be honest, okay? So let me tell you a story that happened. This is one of those stories that took me a long time before I could even say it happily and laughingly. So shout out to God for that, because I've forgiven myself, and it's all good, okay? Because everything works out for the good of those who love the Lord. As you guys know, I've been sharing on my channel here that I launched my glam bot business. It's been a lot of fun. If you don't know what that is, I'll put some videos down below. But basically, for a little quick recap, the GlamBot is a robot arm that records high speed video, and then it processes it in slow motion, and I'm able to share the videos on the spot. It's basically like a red carpet moment that everyone is able to get at luxury events, okay? So I started doing that last December. Honestly, this was God that told me to do it. It's just, that's a whole nother testimony by itself. But before I started that, I was doing content creation, and my husband, he does photography. So we were a really good team because we would go out to events, he would do photography, I would do content creation. We're trying to really build that together. So we were trying to get into more corporate events, and I was doing a lot of cold calling, cold emailing, reaching out to people that, you know, host these events, or I would find events and just try to find the organizer and reach out. And there was this one event in this very bougie part of Dallas, okay? And I found it, I cold emailed, and I actually heard back from the planner. And he actually asked us to come and meet in person and just talk about, you know, what we're going to do and what his vision is for the event and how we can work together. So I was like, oh my God, this is so amazing. We're so excited. So we met with him during the day, and we went to that hotel and we talked about, you know, what the vision was for the event and what we could offer and how we could work together. And this man was so nice to us. He was even just so open about how, you know, the type of people that were going to be at the event, how there were going to be a lot of high net worth people there, and how it could really form a partnership between us and the hotel that could be really lucrative in the future if we did a good job and he liked the work. And even mentioned, like, you know, bring your business cards, really be ready to market yourself, because these are going to be a room of buyers basically that you're going to be able to advertise your business with, and he would love to work together in the future. So we're thinking God opened the door, praise the Lord. So this is like the part of who you know, right? We met somebody who does really luxury events in a really bougie part of Dallas, and he wants to work with us. He's really open. He invited us into his hotel, showing us like what things will be like and all these things, and the vision of what he has to other events that he wants to plan. So we're thinking, oh my gosh, God opened the door, this is absolutely amazing. And it really was. And we're so grateful to God. So that's who you know, right? So we're planning towards this event. The event day comes. So real quick, before the event day comes, this is when God was speaking to me about the glam bot. So the God has been speaking to me about the glam bot for like months before this, but a little bit before the event is when I actually took it seriously, and I was like, okay, let me actually do some research and let me get a glam bot. And so I was thinking in my head, let me get a glam bot before this event date so that I can bring it to that event as well, you know, complimentary. It can create a really great way to launch the business, because again, I'll be in a room of buyers, I'll be in a really luxury hotel. It was gonna just make a lot of sense. So I emailed him ahead of time when I got the glam bot, and I said, hey, we'd love to bring this glam bot in additional to what we're already doing, you know, just to add more fun. It was a New Year's Eve party, by the way, so it was going to be a very lit New Year's Eve party, and it really was. It was beautiful. It was amazing. I'm thinking this is amazing. This is gonna be so cool. Like, it's gonna be a perfect way to launch my business. Like, praise the Lord, right? God has really just opened this huge door, and I'm so excited to just walk right through it. Until, do you watch Ray Williams' video? That's such a side right there, but I love those videos. So I just did the until. Anyway, So we had emailed that we were going to get there, I think around like 2 to 3 hours before the event starts. We can get there, set up, do what we need to do so that we're not interrupting anything, right? So the day comes, and y'all, I don't even know. And there's no excuse because this just goes back to who you are. It goes back to habit. I don't know what I was doing that day. I recorded a video, edited it, posted the video that day. I cleaned the house. Like, I got ready. I don't know how I ended up being late because I was thinking about this event all day. So yeah, spoiler, I ended up being late to the event. Okay, so finally we get the glam bot packed up. We get in the car. We have to get like a truck for the glam bot. It's a whole thing. Okay, it's like not something you can just carry lightly. And my husband was supposed to be doing photography as well, so he helped me with the glam bot situation, get everything. By the time we get there, I think it's, I don't even remember, you guys. I think it was like 8. We were supposed to be there at 7, or maybe it was almost 9 or something. Like, basically when we got there, the event had already started. People had already arrived. Like, people were still arriving, but it was definitely on the go, right? There were so many things going on. There was like a huge vintage car in the middle of the lobby. There was a lot of photo ops. There was a casino. There were a photo booth options. There was live music. Like, it was beautiful. It was a red carpet entrance at the hotel. It was so beautiful. And by the time we got there, we're like, oh my gosh, people are already here. But we're looking for the director, person that we had talked to from the hotel, and we're just not finding him. So we just start packing our stuff to bring it in the hotel. And it's funny because, like, I'm thinking back at like how crusty we looked walking through that hotel with like this big Glambot flight case and like this big cart with a bunch of like porridge. Like, I don't know. I feel like now that I've worked so many more events for the Glambot, I would have never. I would have been like, it's fine, we're not doing this, because it just looks so bad. Like, the glam looks beautiful when it's already set up, but before it's set up, it is a hot mess. There's cords everywhere. There's the light stands. There's the big lights. There are the glam itself, the case, the car. I mean, it just goes on and on. It's a hot mess when you just see all the pieces. And we're literally lugging the glam like it's on wheels. We're pushing it around the hotel, trying to find a place to set up. And then I'm pulling the cart. I'm like, what is happening right now? What are we doing? And then when I find a place where I want to set up the glam bot, I see this director. I guess he found us, or he was walking around and he ran into us. And he looked at us and he was like, weren't you guys supposed to be here at 7 p.m.? And we're like, yes. And then he was like, if you can't get to this place on time, then you don't need to be here at all. And he said, I'm going to have to ask you guys to leave. And my heart sunk. And I just sat there. But I respected those words so much, because absolutely, why am I here in the middle of this beautiful event with a huge cart and a flight case trying to set up? Like, no, this is not how it works. If you're a vendor, you get there way before the guests arrive. You set up so guests come in and they see the beauty of what you created. You don't let them see the ugly, And it just hurts so much, because in that moment I realized that we had literally closed a door that was open unto us. And so that moment, literally that moment, as I was standing there for like that split second, I realized that it is not just about who you know. It is about who you are. Because if you are not the type of person that can show up and do well with the opportunities that are given to you, you are always going to disqualify yourself from having great success in your business, in your personal life, in your relationships, whatever the case may be. If you meet the best person that you could ever marry ever, right? But your character isn't that of one who can be a good wife, it doesn't matter how much he or she knows you. They are not going to pursue a relationship with you if you are not the person that they're looking for as far as character, right? So in that moment, I just felt God telling me, like, this is why you need to put away certain habits. I don't care that you're African and you're used to being late. And it's not like I try to be late, right? But it's one of those things where if you don't consciously work on these things, you're going to end up defaulting to your normal patterns, which for me was being late. Y'all, I'm from West Africa. I'm Cameroonian. Being late is like in our blood, as we say. I'm not in my blood anymore. In Jesus' name, I've casted it out. We're done with being late. I'm done with being late, okay? Because that day, I just realized that, wow, I thought I had to start over, because literally the glam that I had bought for that event, I bought that specific brand because it was gonna make it here on time for that event. Like, there was so much intentional planning that went behind why I picked that glam box specifically for that event. Even I had so much content, that I wanted to record that event. I was so excited for the partnership that was gonna come about just because I was late. Just listen to that. Just because I was late, I was no longer able to do those things. Not because somebody didn't give me an opportunity, not because I didn't have the resources, but because of who I was. I ruined that opportunity. And that day I realized that, man, if my habits do not support the level of success that I want to have, it doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter who I know. It doesn't matter what kind of opportunities are given to me. If my person cannot handle that kind of success or that kind of consistency, it just doesn't matter. And I learned that when you go into the luxury world, there is no being late. There is no, oh, I'm in traffic. You leave 2 hours earlier than early so that you get there on time no matter what, right? Because there is a certain level of excellence that you have to be able to operate at in order to serve excellent people. Something else that I've also realized is that even when there are people that are just not nice to be around, like the people that are just mean, right? But it doesn't mean that they haven't gone through the sacrifice of, killing the habits that are not going to help them excel in their business. Because you can be a really mean business owner. I'm not recommending that you are, right? But I'm saying that there are certain habits that you absolutely must cultivate in order to succeed in business. Habits like timeliness, habits like being consistent, habits like mindset over fear, like just doing the things that you said you would do, habits like having integrity, right? Habits like doing what you said you will do, trusting yourself, confidence, right? You can have all those things, you can have worked on all those things and just be a mean person. So I'm not even talking about like being nice and being pleasurable. Of course, there are doors that you're gonna close because you're a mean person, right? That happens, right? But this one right here was just simply about me showing up and being consistent and being on time. It doesn't take a nice person to do that. Somebody could be a very mean person, but show up and be consistent and been on time, right? So in that moment, I just learned that there's certain principles that you must adhere by in order to get past certain doors. And y'all, when we left that day, so I just like kind of had like a walk of shame back to like, the dock station, because we had to go through the dock because the glam bag is heavy. You can't just like walk through the hotel doors with it. Like that was gonna look even worse, right? So we're like going through the cafeteria, like just the back end of the hotel to get everything back. And I'm just thinking, wow, I'm walking away from such a huge opportunity. And God just really used that time to like really lift me up. Even though I wasn't crying yet. I waited till we got to the car to cry because okay, like I had to wait. But God just used the opportunity to tell me like this is why you have to become. Like I let this happen so that you would see that you can let go of very big opportunity just for the simple fact that you're late, right? You cannot let this happen again. You have to choose to step out of the person that you're used to being to step into the person that you need to be in order to operate in that level of success. And maybe I'll insert a clip here. I think I did a video of me like talking to myself that day. Thank God we were going to New Year's Eve service for church. So I just went to God. I cried, I worshipped, and I was just refilled by the Spirit. Like, just worship is such a therapy. I say it all the time, but that was what I needed. I just needed to be with me, my God. I prayed, I asked for forgiveness, and I asked that He would help me to, get out of this and help me to walk in the person that I'm supposed to be, to really become, right? And not just with timeliness, with consistency, with having integrity, and so many things.
So, I don't want to cry, but if I cry, I cried, like whatever. It's the last day of the year, and I just learned a very important lesson. Like it smacked me in my face for the first time in my life, is to be on time. So this, it's really true that God will not give you something you're not prepared for. You can think you're prepared for something all you want. I'm talking to me. I'm talking about me. Until you see that you're not. But
so that just goes to show y'all, this was one of the biggest slaps in my face, biggest mistakes of recent anyway, that I had to really learn that you have to become. You have to become. When I look at my life and I see the different things that I've done, or things that I've tried to do, right? And I see like where I failed or where I've seen success, I always see success in the place where I have focus, and the place where I choose to show up anyway, and the place I choose to be consistent. So I've realized that, and it's crazy because like this is something that I've always known, right? Everybody knows that you have to be consistent to be successful, but how many people actually practice being consistent in order to be successful? Very few people, right? So you have to understand that until you actually walk into that person, until you actually walk into the shoes of that person you want to be, you are not going to be them. You're going to disqualify yourself every single time by just thinking that if I get the opportunity, I'll be successful. No. If you become the person and then you have the opportunity, then you'll be successful. And I heard somebody say something and it was really, really interesting to me. The person said, I'm paraphrasing, something like, people are not lucky. Those who show up consistently end up being lucky. So I don't know if I said that right, but I think the premise of what he was saying was that luck doesn't just happen anytime, right? Luck, you think that somebody's lucky, but the thing is, they were at the right place at the right time, and they weren't going to be there unless they had worked at certain parts of themselves, of their character, to even be in that place of opportunity, right? And of course, there's the mercy of God, there's the grace of God. God will send you, He will allow you to have so many opportunities, He will put favor on your name. God can do that, but you still have a part to play by being the person that can sustain that level of success. That's why we see people that win the lottery, they become millionaires overnight, but they lose it right after a couple months because they were not the person, they didn't become the person that can sustain that level of success. It goes for everything. People have amazing miracles, people have amazing opportunities. Me too, I had an amazing opportunity, but I was not the person that could sustain that level of success. Is a key factor. I am now because I have learned, baby. I have learned to show up for myself, to be on time no matter what. That was the biggest slap in my face. And I'm so grateful to God for that now. I wasn't grateful to God in that moment. Let me tell you right now. I was not, right? But I think that needed to happen for me to see, like, babe, you gotta change. You can't just still be regular old Daniela that is just so used to being late. That cannot be my future. I can't take that anywhere. It's not going to help me to be successful. And the last thing I'll leave in this video is this: external success comes with internal growth. Don't always think that you need to prove to people outside of yourself that you are successful. You need to do this, that, and that in order to be successful. Work on what's inside of here. What are you thinking about? What is your trajectory towards your life? How do you treat other people? Are you on time? Do you have integrity? Do you trust yourself? Do you show up when you say you'll show up? Are you consistently not giving up? Are you focused? This was like the biggest thing of this year for me personally, is focus. Those are the things that are going to now show externally. When you're focused and you're doing all of these things, you're showing up for yourself every single day, your habits will begin to change. The way that you spend your day will begin to change because it has to, in order for you to be that type of person. Work on being able to subdue the body, meaning be the boss of your body, be the boss of your mind. Tell your mind what to think, tell your body what to do, and actually following through. Not just letting your feelings or your heart dictate how you live your life, but letting the vision that you saw, the place that you're going, dictate how you live your life now. Because until you're able to walk in the shoes of yourself in the future, you are not going to be that person. You need to become that person in order to walk in their shoes. It's not just about who you know, it is about who you are. So let us go ahead and become the people that we're supposed to be. If you are in a becoming journey, I have a whole playlist about becoming that woman. I'll leave it here on the screen or down below. Make sure to check it out. I walk through so many things in that playlist, so it's definitely one to follow if you are on a becoming that woman journey. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Remember, you are successful, yes, even right now. Also, like this video and comment down below, let me know what you think, okay? Thank you guys so much. Mwah. See you next time.